Yes, everybody, hope you are all doing well and welcome to the Chelsea preview. We're going to be previewing the Chelsea game today. Bless up to everybody in the chat. Smash that like button. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel as we are currently on that road to 3,000 subscribers. We're about 6 subscribers, I think, from about... I think we're not far actually from the next target. So if you're new to the channel, hit the likes, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to be live for probably about the next hour discussing this game, giving you my match thoughts, what's going to happen, etc., team news. So yeah, let's get into it all for you. A big up to the chat. First things off first, just need to pull something up on screen because we're going to be speaking about Alisson to kick things off. So yeah, let's bless up to the chat. Big up and hit the likes, yeah, man. 2-1 to the Reds, yeah, man. Yo, reacts what you're saying. Not saying much, man. Come on, peoples, bless up, yeah, man. You confident? Am I confident? No, but I think we will win, especially after the previous 2 games. Big up to Red Rio, man. Hey, big up, bro. I've got my new channel back. Which channel, mates? Just hit the like. Big up, mates. Hope you're well, my guy. Yeah, bless up to you. Yeah, man, I'm just trying to build my channel up, man. I took about literally kind of 2 weeks off from really doing live streams, and it's just plummeted the channel a little bit. So we're building it back up. But yeah, I know a lot of people do watch the streams back on the replays. So yeah, big up to everybody, man. So yeah, we're going to go through all the news in the stream. Let's get into it then. So Dave Cop has tweeted this, that Alisson is set to be ruled out until after the international break, according to Sky Sports. Out until after the international break. Now, which one is it? Is he out for is he out for this one? Is he out for the next international break? They've not kind of really given clarity on it. To be honest, they've not even really kind of said what the injury was. They kind of just said, yo, Alisson's out. He's like, yo, Alisson is injured. Yeah, it's peak. That's what they've kind of said. They haven't really stated what the injury is, which is kind of annoying. This one, well, apparently what they're saying this one, so it's not 6 weeks, because obviously the next international break is 6 weeks, hence why I put a question mark. No, not the 700 subs one, sadly. Hopefully you get it back, my guy. And slap the likes on watching it back. Yeah, man, if you're watching it back, smash that like button. Make sure you are subscribing to the damn channel. So yeah, this is the news regarding Alisson. Let me have a look on Twitter to see if there's any news at all, regarding Alisson. Because I've not really seen much, to be honest. Let's have a look. I mean, a lot of people are saying happy birthday to him. Apparently, it's Alisson's birthday today. Bless up to Alisson. This image is cold, man. Alisson injury. Let's see what Twitter's saying about it. Okay, so this is what James Pearce said. Liverpool are waiting to learn the extent of the hamstring. So it is a hamstring Alisson suffered against Galatasaray. Keeper yet to undergo scan, but should get clarity in the next 24 hours. Expectation that he'll be out for at least a few weeks. So yeah, he's probably going to be out for at least a couple of weeks, which is sad, man. He's probably going to be out for at least 6 weeks. Oh, that's just so peak, man. That is actually so peak. That is actually peak. That's peak, man. That is peak. He's going to be out for that long. Like, we cannot be doing with this, if I'm being honest. Obviously, Sky Sports saying out to the international break, but what does that even mean? Well, obviously he's going to be out to the international break. What we don't know is how long. Obviously, James Pearce saying, obviously this was 18 hours ago. So I'm expecting in Slot's press conference tomorrow, we get proper clarity on the situation of him. That's what I'm truly expecting, and hopefully us as fans we get that, because Alisson's a big miss, man. We've seen how pivotal and important, he has been over the past couple of weeks, and we need him back. We need him back. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, he's going to be okay. Hopefully. Bless up to everybody in the chat. Let me find. There we go. But yeah, I'm intrigued, chat. I am certainly intrigued. What other bits of news I wanted to bring up about the Hugo Ekitike situation? Hugo Ekitike injury. This is what a couple of people have said. Well, someone saying exclusive. Ekitike is out for 3 to 6 weeks. I doubt that. And obviously, this is what James Pearce said again. Hugo Ekitike is confident that he has only had cramp and known signs of a hamstring injury. That's massive. We cannot be having him having a hamstring injury. Who do you think start, Isak or Ekitike? On Saturday, I think it's clearly going to be Alexander Isak, mate. If I'm being honest, I can't see a world where it's Hugo Ekitike, just due to coming back from this. I would genuinely be shocked if you see Ekitike starting. I think he potentially could be on the bench again. We're gonna have to kind of wait more for Slot's press conference tomorrow to get any sort of indication as to what's going to happen. That's what we're going to have to kind of wait for that. So we're going to have to wait for Slot's press conference to get some big more news on that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, slap the likes. What about Chiesa? I would love Chiesa to get some minutes in this game. I think Chiesa could actually argue, Chiesa probably deserves to start. If you actually look at the form of the attackers right now, with the minutes he's played, etc., could you make an indication that Chiesa has been in the top 2 best performing attackers this season? Based off the minutes he's had overall, you can make a strong argument for that. Genuinely a strong argument. Team news prediction. Yeah, we'll get on to that very soon. When's the press conference? The press conference is tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So we're going to go live and listen to his press conference, Mr. Slot. We're going to start doing that more often when we do like press conference reactions and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get more into the preview. I mean, this is what FootMob have the predicted 11s down as. Ekitike, I doubt it'll be Ekitike, but obviously for Chelsea, it'll be Sanchez, Gusto, Chalobah, Barbadashile, and Cucurella. Coming up against that back four and goalkeeper, I'm sorry, but Liverpool should be smashing at least a goal or two. Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, we know how good they are. Pedro Neto, Buonanotte, Garnacho, and George. I mean, have they got any injuries? So Delap's out till Palmer's out. Chalobah's suspended. They've got a lot of injuries. Levi Cole out till April is mad. Don't know why they say Kiesa's got a knock. He just doesn't. So they've got a lot of players out. João Pedro. I mean, you'd expect João Pedro to start. I reckon that'll be the Chelsea team. You take out George and you probably put João Pedro in there. But yeah, this press conference is at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Isn't Chalobah suspended? Yeah, I mean, according to he is suspended, so no Trevor Chalobah. Trying to think of other players that could bring in, maybe Hato, James. But yeah, I'm sorry, but Liverpool should be licking their lips at that Chelsea back form. If we look at Chelsea's overall form, chat, it's not been great. Chelsea's overall form has not been great. Crystal Palace, they should have lost. But okay, fair play. You beat your two London derby teams. Brentford, you dropped points in last minute due to Carvalho winner. You lost to Bayern Munich. You lost to Manchester United. Right? You struggled to beat Lincoln. I mean, if we look at the Lincoln statistics, Lincoln did very well. So, and we look at the lineup that Chelsea played, fairly strong. You still got the likes of Hato, Fernandez, Gittins, Fafana, Gusto. You still brought on the likes of Cucurella, Pedro Neto, Estevao as well. So, Palmer's a big miss for them. I can't lie. Palmer is a massive miss for Chelsea. Then obviously, if we go back to it, Chelsea's fixtures, they lost to Brighton, as well. Like, they've just not been great, to be honest with you. And that's an Enzo Fernandez goal. Obviously, Chalobah got sent off. And then I didn't watch the Benfica game because obviously I was more focused on ours on Tuesday night. They won by an own goal. And then obviously João Pedro got sent off. So I don't know if that counts for the Champions League, for the Premier League. It's not saying on FootMob, so I assume not. We also look at, again, it just looks like it wasn't great against Benfica. And you look at the lineup that Chelsea played, very similar to the predicted lineup. In fact, that's actually the exact same. So, yeah, we should be beating Chelsea, people. We should be beating Chelsea by a matter of fact. And I do think we will win. I mean, if you look at our head-to-heads, this game is, if you're a betting man, you probably bet more on a draw, to be honest with you. If you're a betting man, you're probably slapping a bet on a draw, just due to the more of the factor of, obviously they beat us at the Bridge last season. Then we won. Then we won to beat them in the FA Cup final. We beat them at Anfield, and then just look at this record ever since. Starting from August the 13th, from the first day of that season. Look at that record all the way down to the 4th of March 2021. 1-1 in the league, 2-2 in the league, 0-0. Obviously, we won that on penalties. FA Cup final, 0-0, won on penalties. 0-0. I remember that game. That game was so bad. Like, that was such a mid-off. Like, God, look at the teams that were playing in that game. Jesus. Oh, Lord. Yeah, it was... Where was Virgil? Yeah, it was not great, was it? Oh, God, that team. Oh, yeah, that... Oh, no, man. That was... Nah, man, that was a stinky one, Charles. That was a stinky one. But yeah, you go back to their head-to-head. In the Premier League, we have 12 wins to their 6, 12 being draws. At Chelsea Stadium, we have a very, you could argue, in the Premier League. So we have a very good record at Stamford Bridge. They've only won 3 times in the past, over 15 years. 6 draws, 6 wins. It's very, very good record for Liverpool. So yeah, we're definitely taking that. Another reason why this game is absolutely massive and that we need to be getting the victory is you look at the league table. Arsenal got West Ham. They're going to beat West Ham. They're going to beat West Ham, in my opinion. But yeah, they're going to beat West Ham. Does anyone think this weekend any of the title rivals will drop points? You know, let me know. Let me know. But yeah, let me know in the chat. But yeah, let me know in the chat. Bless up the chat as well, as always, man. Smash up them likes. Score prediction reacts. I'm going to go with... I'll bring up the banner for you. I'm going 2-1 Liverpool, mate. 2-1. West Ham, you never know. Yeah, you never know. But look, if Arsenal win, bear in mind that game plays before our game. So they can technically go to the top of the table by a point. And they've got a better goal difference. They're going to beat West Ham. I'll be fuming if we've just thrown a 5-point lead. Just like that. Man City will drop points. Brentford, bogey team. I'm not really looking at Man City right now, to be honest with you. With 5 points clear. I mean, I said that about Arsenal, but Man City just not been convincing in the last 5. Lost to Tottenham, lost to Brighton. Yeah, but they beat Man United, but they're crap. 1-1 against Arsenal, although they played well, and obviously they beat Burnley 5-1. Yeah, and as for Arsenal, they've won 3 out of their last 5. Draw against City and obviously lost to us and beat the rest. And to be fair, the better teams. They slapped up Leeds, slapped up Forest, and they were probably the better overall team against Newcastle, to be honest, despite it being a last minute. 4-2 against us, against West Ham. West Ham 1-0. Didn't West Ham win last season? I'm going to actually look that up. I'm pretty sure West Ham actually won. Arsenal, I think they won 1-0 West Ham. Am I right in saying they won 1-0? Yeah, they won 1-0. They won 1-0. Who knows? Hopefully the same again. London derby, you never know. But, I mean, what is Arsenal's record actually against West Ham? Like, head-to-head. Yeah. Especially at home. Although West Ham have won the last 2 visits. Ooh. We will be there, chat. They've won the last 2. And then you look at that Arsenal record before that, though. 3-1, 2-0, 2-1, 1-0, 3-1, 4-1, 1-0, 3-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, 5-1, 1-0. They beat them. They just beat them. Overall in this tournament, in the Premier League, West Ham either do well or get absolutely slapped. 6-0, 5-0, 1. Like, yeah, we need West Ham to be good. I mean, I don't have no hope. I mean, West Ham have won 1 game this season, and that was against Forest. And they've not been great neither. They lost 5-1 to Chelsea, 3-0 to Tottenham, 2-1 to Palace, 1-1 against Everton. They either do somewhat well or they get slapped. I think Arsenal will beat them comfortably, if I'm actually being honest. I actually think they'll beat them comfortably. I've got a feeling, and obviously Bowen's their top goal scorer this season. If you do it based off form in the last 5 games, West Ham are 19. Based off the last 5 games, Liverpool are still top of the table. Love that. Palace are second. Palace are doing really well, chat. Bournemouth, by the way, going under the radar this season. You know, their only loss was against us. Beat Wolves, beat Tottenham, beat Brighton, picked up a good point against Newcastle, and a point against Leeds away. Again, it's never easy. 3-1 us. Bro, Liverpool didn't win Chelsea at the Bridge after 2020, so it will be a tricky for Reds. Just expect last season's result. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, we've not won at the Bridge in 5 years. However, we do very well in terms of not losing against you guys. But yeah, big up to you, mate. If you are new, make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Chat, we are literally 7 subs from 2,350. We're trying to push to get towards that this weekend. So yes, bless up. Hopefully we can get to maybe 2.4 by get close to 2.4 as much as possible this month. But yeah, what else we got to go through? I mean, look, chat, it's not going to be an easy game. It's not going to be an easy game. I know this. The one thing that gives me hope is that Chelsea haven't been in fantastic form themselves. That's the one thing. They've not been in form themselves. That's the positive. You know. That's the positive. They've not been great. Let me just reply back to someone. Bear with. But yeah, bless up to everybody, man. Make sure you're in the like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Already on 14 likes. Right, let me go back to the chat. 2-1 us. We beat Chelsea. We have to. Are you a Chelsea fan? I forgot, mate. Reacts to a lineup prediction. Should I do a lineup prediction? Right, let's do a lineup prediction. So this is the team I think. This is the team I think will play. I think in goal it'll be Mamadashvili. Obviously, Alisson he's literally out injured. So yeah, I do think it will be Alisson. Not Alisson, sorry, Mamadashvili in goal. And then I also think it will be at left back Milos Kerkez. He's had a couple of starts, a couple of games off the bench. I think you go with him in this game. I won't be surprised, to be honest, if you actually could see someone like an Andy Robertson. I won't be shocked. At listener backs, I think it's going to be Virgil van Dijk and Canate. I think that's the most given and easy one to predict, mainly just due to the fact of we haven't got that depth. We haven't got the players available to play this game. And I don't think you throw Joe Gomez in at Chelsea away. We're going to come back to the right back position. We are going to come back to the right back position. I think in the midfield, you see Gravenberch. We're going to do all the positions where I think players will play. I think Mo Salah plays just due to the fact of, again, he was on the bench in midweek. It's given that he's definitely going to start, in my opinion. I think off the left, you go with Cody Gakpo. Up top, no, actually, down the middle, I think you go Florian Wirtz. Isak up front. Again, Ekatike is probably going to be on the bench or if not out. These are the two positions for me where it's tough to predict. Do you go Frimpong, Conor Bradley or Szoboszlai? If not, do you put Szoboszlai in midfield? In my preview earlier, I did a bite-sized preview. I said I think Slot might go this. add a bit of physicality, adds a bit of dynamism in there. And McAllister just needs to get into the team. He needs to get into the team. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Let me know. Do you like the team? Would you change anything about the team? Let me know. Would you change anything to that lineup? Because I think, again, yes, you could go very much maybe Bradley, but again, Bradley just hasn't been great, chat. If we're being truly honest, Connor Bradley has not been great. He just hasn't. So we're kind of in a bit of a dilemma here, if we're being honest. We're in a massive dilemma as in terms of what to do. I really don't know what to do with the team in terms of what do we change. And Maka for Sob. Yeah, Maka for Sob, I could see it. I wouldn't change it, like it, to be fair. Hopefully Rion Keys off the bench. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I mean, I could see that. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Obviously, I think everyone will feature at some point. Combined lineup. So if we're doing a combined lineup, God, what would you do? I think you probably, if everyone is fit, you probably do this. Do you? I think if you're doing a combined Chelsea lineup, you're probably doing something like this. I think if you're doing a combined lineup, I would have that. If I'm doing a combined Chelsea 11, that's probably what I'm doing. I think, yes, you could have very much have Caicedo in there, 1010%. But I think McAllister overall has been better in the past couple of years. I think Gravenberg's definitely a top 5. I think, it depends on how you look at it. At their fully best, I think this is probably their team. If every single player is at their full best, that is their team. You know? That is their best. I've seen a couple of people suggesting, should Liverpool do something like this against Chelsea? I've seen a couple of people saying, should we do this? Now, I don't know how I feel. Do you? Chat, would you like to see that? I just want to see Slot use what he was doing last season, switching it up the team when it's not working. Because again, times last season when it wasn't working, he was switching it up, and that's something I was a big fan of, and I want to see him ultimately do that again. And I think he has to, and I think he knows he has to. just due to it's just not been working. So you've got to do something. You've got to do something. And I'm praying Mr. Slot is going to do that. I won't mind it, to be honest. But yeah, smash up these likes, chat. Bless up to everybody who is in the building. 1 second. Let me see if there's any more bits of news. You know what, chat? We're going to react to a clip. We're going to react to a clip I've just seen pop up. And we haven't done one of these in a while where we react to a couple of clips on stream. We're going to do that right now for you. Bear with me. I just need to put something in the description. And then we will be on our way to do that. Right. We're going to react to a Talk Sport clip for you. Simon Jordan, what's there to worry about? It insists that pundits have overreacted to Liverpool's losses. Let's take a listen. Let's take a listen.
Full stop. The results of mass in some people's eyes, but yeah, there looks a little bit of lethargy there, especially off the ball, defensively, a little bit wide open. Carragher was talking about being more like games of basketball. I see what he means. I think that's fair. Very unlike the composed Liverpool we saw under Slot last season. So he's got some work to do.
He has.
Got some work to do.
Anna Slot, Danny spoke to Anna Slot on a one-to-one basis just the other day, but of course last night in Istanbul, Slot did speak about that defeat. So Danny, those frailties, have they been evident since the word go this season?
My earpiece ain't working, so I didn't hear exactly what he said there. Sorry, but I think defensively there's a problem. Yeah, they don't look as compact. He has talked a few times about 4 or 5 missing pre-season, which I get. There's new players as well learning their roles in the team. He's chopped and changed it a bit more. Last season he played more or less the same team. So there's problems there for him to fix, that's for sure. But I think first and foremost that comes defensively. I think at the weekend we'll probably see a more last season type team. Robertson coming back in. Salah will obviously come back in. I think in midfield he'll go with the tried and trusted.
What did you make of the defensive performance on Saturday against Palace? Specifically, Canati.
He's struggling.
He's miles off, isn't he?
He's struggling. He's had the odd good game, but he's struggling. And I don't know whether that's a mental thing because of the lack, he's not signed the deals, a lot of speculation. I don't know if he's been tapped up. I don't know if he's just lacking confidence.
He didn't come out last night well either.
No, he's struggling.
Yeah.
The fans are on him a little bit. But he for a long time, he's been very good. So everyone can have a bad spell. The problem is without getting Gay, of course, that they've only got Gomez who can come in, and he's not quite as physically powerful as Canate, but he might come in at the weekend against Chelsea.
I mean, Simon, a £400 million plus investment. Do they look worse?
Ooh, they've lost a couple of games. They're top of the Premier League. They lost not to Nottingham Forest at home last season in their first 3 or 4 games.
They did,
The
yeah.
only difference in this situation is they haven't looked as assured. And I remember watching Liverpool in the first game of the season against Ipswich away, and they weren't looking great then either.
Last
So-
season, you mean?
Yeah, last
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
So let's get things into context. They're top of the Premier League. They've lost to Palace, who have not been beaten by anybody in 18 games, including some of the best teams in the country. So there's no great shame there. The fact is that because they've spent 400 million quid over 3 transfer windows, like we've discussed previously, not as a result of a 400 million pound spend every single window, they've replaced some players that were forced to be playing through tragedies, which increased expenditure they probably wouldn't have had to do in the first place. So they're just going through a little bit of a blip for 5
Well,
seconds.
are they? Is it a little bit of a blip?
Yeah.
Jimmy Carragher on CBS last night, and Thierry Henry alongside him, suitably gobsmacked by that. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I make him right. It is a bit all over the place, even from day one. The Bournemouth game, end to end, could have gone either way. Newcastle game against 10 men, they're under the cosh, bizarrely. So there is a bit of disorganisation, especially compared to the composure of the team we saw last season, seeing out games well, keeping possession well, managing games better. But there's a lot of change. I'm not particularly concerned. Those players, the good ones he's brought in, are going to adapt and get better. It is unusual that most of them, apart from Ekitike, you'd say, most of them have struggled, the new players. Maybe that's the size of the task or the pressure of it for young lads to come into a club like Liverpool where they're expected to win. Maybe it's the amount of money, or who knows.
Yeah.
I expected them to adapt a bit better, but ultimately,
I think they've done quite. Ekitike's done good. I think Kirkes, what his issue is, he just needs to play like he was playing at Bournemouth. Just free flowing confidence, just play the ball, relax. You know, I think with Milos Kirkes, it's more due to the factor of he's trying to impress. And I think if he actually takes away that trying to impress factor, I actually feel like he'll have a lot less pressure on his shoulders to actually deliver. I think Frimpong hasn't looked good since the injury he picked up just before the Arsenal game in the international. I don't know if he's just taken a bit of time to recover. I thought he was okay against Burnley when he came on. Won the penalty, of course, due to the handball. I think Isak gets a free pass. This is effective like a pre-season for Alexander Isak. He hasn't played football since May. He's played a couple of games. 2 games in the Champions League, a game in the league. No, sorry, I think he's played 2. No. Let me have a look. How many games has he played? Isak. Let me have a look. For Liverpool, he's played 2 games in the Champs, 2 games in the Premier League, and a game in the EFL Cup. He's played 5 games. Bearing in mind some of these are like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then obviously he did get a big portion. I think he got like 70 plus minutes against Palace. So he's still building up that match fitness, which I think is going to take time for him, which is why I'm not concerned with Alexander Isak, because he's shown glimpses. When he's on that ball, he's getting better and better. He is getting better and better. It's not like he's had loads of chances, missed. He's looking sloppy. His link-up play hasn't been good. Do you know what I mean? So I think a lot of our signings are just simply going to take time. Frimpong was really good against Galatasaray. I thought he was okay. I wouldn't say he was static. He was just bad for the Palace goal and against Southampton. Yeah, he was poor against Southampton and he was poor against Crystal Palace for the goal. Yeah, you are correct. I think with some of them signings, they just need to try not to just impress. They just need to play ball, relax, and it will come for them. I think that's ultimately what they just need to simply do, if I'm being honest with you. And ultimately, it will come. It will come. So I'm not concerned. And then you also look into the other factors. You know, obviously Mamardashvili is a goalkeeper anyway. Giovanni Lilli had an impressive debut. Obviously picked up the ACL, which is unfortunate. All in all, I'm not concerned. However, ask me again in about 5 or 10 games. But the fact is, we're still top of the league. And if we beat Chelsea, we're going into the international break, top of the Premier League, won every single game barring one. If you remember the last international break going into October. Now, I can't remember if the Arsenal game was straight after or before. Correct me if I'm wrong. we can actually have a look at our fixtures and compare it to last season. So if we go to Liverpool's fixtures, let's scroll all the way back to last season. So yeah, we kick things off with Ipswich. Okay, 1-1-1. We won our first 4 games. We won our first Champions League game. We won against Bournemouth. We beat Southampton in the goal. It was this game where we dropped points. At this moment in time, we've got the exact same amount of points as we did last season. Okay, we didn't win that game. So if we beat Chelsea, we've matched that. Then there's an international break. Right? So if we win this game, we've actually matched last season's points while still playing bad, while we've new players into the team. Beat Chelsea, then it was Arsenal. So if we actually win our next 3 games, we've actually we've actually done better than last season's start to the season in the Premier League. And you look at our next 3 games, Chelsea, Man United, Brentford. I think there is a world where we can come out with 9 points. You know, and obviously 2 of them being away. I think after that is we've got a nice run soon at Anfield. You know, we've had a couple of games where we have just been playing away and away. So, yeah, we're going to have a nice week here, all at Anfield, which is going to be good, which will set us up for Man City away, your Forests, etc. But yeah, let's get back to the clip.
They've got an abundance of talent that will, and the cream
Which
always
will
rises.
assemble itself. I imagine
will.
that Slot was all ears with his notebook, making sure that he got every single thing that Jamie said down so we could react to it. Look, I mean, I like Jamie, and I think a lot of the time what Jamie says is worth listening to. In this instance, he's making noise on a television show to create some sort of reaction in it. You're top of the Premier League. You may not be playing particularly well, but I think the key component of any side is if you can win the majority of the games that you play in whilst not playing very well, there ain't too much wrong with you. And if you've got the assembled parts, I mean, I'm quite glad that Isak hasn't hit the ground running because I'd like to see him struggle a little bit. Mean-spirited me, I know, but notwithstanding it. And I look at it and think to myself, well, what is there to worry about, really?
But they're struggling a bit.
Well, they've not hit.
Is Jamie not just saying what he sees?
He says that
he's struggling.
I tell you what he says. He says they don't look like a top team. I get that.
Yeah,
because
they are top.
Well, they're top of the table.
Yeah.
But as I said the other week, sticking up for Arteta and
and they beat Arsenal.
The silliness around.
And they beat Arsenal, who are most people's favourites besides Liverpool to win the league.
Yeah, they did beat Arsenal. But what I'm saying is people jumped on Arteta when he didn't beat Man City at home or whatever it is, you know? It's a moment in time. Liverpool and Arsenal will be up there fighting for the title.
Absolutely. And there'll be very little to worry about.
It's no surprise, though, that they are being scrutinised. They're being looked at very, very closely. And I remember, Danny, when we heard that they're in for Wirtz.
I know where this is going.
And I do remember you said at the time, oh, that's it. They get him, then there's no worries about anything. That was before Isak. And I think that was before Ekitike. Now, Wayne Rooney believes that Wirtz damages the balance of Liverpool. Rooney was saying last night, I don't see where he gets into the team. I think it was a lot of money. He says, I've seen players come into this league and it takes time. It's not the price tag. So what was it, like 111 million? But it's not the player or his ability. I don't see where he fits into what Liverpool do in the system. Is he a third midfield player? For me, no, he's an attacking player. So if I have to choose between him and Szoboszlai, then I choose Szoboszlai.
Well, I mean, it's easy where he fits in. He's a 10, and he'll play ahead of 2 midfielders like he has on most occasions he's worn the shirt. The fact he hasn't played as well as we know he can is a different subject to where he fits in. It's not difficult to see where he fits in. If he'd have gone into a team full of confidence and everyone flying, he'd be fine. But he's got a big pressure on his shoulders with the amount he was bought for. But where he plays is obvious. Liverpool played Szoboszlai in that role last year. He's different. He's more athletic. He's better defensively. Well, Wirtz was brought in to take up that role because he's more creative than Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai's numbers of goals and
assists. Are you seeing that creativity?
I'm seeing glimpses of it, yeah.
He's yet to score, and he hasn't contributed to a goal since his assist in the community.
Yeah, but he's had moments where you see it.
When you look at it, you expected more from him.
Yeah.
You must have done.
Oh, God, yeah.
Everybody did.
Can't deny it. But
gets a
there's
score and hasn't contributed a goal since the community
I'm not
shield.
worried about him. I'm not worried about him.
No.
No, I think physically he'll get better. He looks a bit off it physically, but some of the touches and the vision and the passes, he should have had a couple of assists, some bad finishes, especially in I think it was the Everton game.
I mean, Simon, to be fair to Carragher and Rooney, two former top players.
Yeah.
And they're saying what they see.
What's that got to do with management?
They're saying what they see.
I mean, I would imagine.
Well, they said two different things.
You're saying they're doing it for reaction. Or
Well,
at least
not in
Jamie
this
was.
instance. I would suggest, again, I'm going to be mean-spirited. I would suggest the manager that's main focus in life is to get teams relegated wouldn't really be giving advice to a manager that's won the Premier League. I don't think Arnie Slot's got blind spots that Wayne Rooney
Facts.
for him.
Yeah, but
As a
Wayne
pl-
knows a player when he sees
He's a
one.
player. There's a vast difference being a player and a manager. Wayne can't necessarily give the same advice to a manager about how to assemble a team. He can tell you what an elite player looks like and what an elite player does because he was one. He
But
can't tell
Danny's never managed, so can he not criticise a manager?
what if his criticism is objective. But if you're suggesting that Danny knows more about management than Arnie Slot, and that Arnie Slot's got a blind slot that needs to be filled by Danny, I'd say maybe not.
But what's not objective about what Wayne says about Wirtz there?
Well, he does say.
No, but he said he doesn't know why he gets in the team and where he plays. He's just answered that question for you. He's told you where he plays.
Wait.
And ultimately, he's not playing very well. He's not playing well enough.
Is
at the
Wayne
moment in
right?
time.
Wait.
Wirtz is more of an attacking player.
He is.
So if he chooses between him and Szoboszlai, he goes Szoboszlai.
Well, he would at the moment because Szoboszlai's playing better. And
So
Liverpool,
Wayne's got a point.
he's got a point temporarily in terms of that he chose Szoboszlai ahead of Wirtz. But to say he doesn't know where he fits in, well,
That's the point.
He
But is,
fit,
Wayne, is what Wayne is saying here, is it valid? At this time,
which part?
where Liverpool are, I don't see where he gets in the team.
Well, no,
Wirtz
that,
damages the balance of Liverpool.
well, if you can't see where he gets in the team, you've not been watching Liverpool. He gets in the team as a 10. The reason they brought him in is because they don't want a Szoboszlai-like player in that position. They want a more creative player. That's why they brought him in. The fact he's not doing it right now, people will go towards Szoboszlai as a selection because he gives them the athleticism and the tenacity because they think that's what's the...
So is Jamie wrong when he says, Carragher says, Wirtz maybe needs to be taken out of the team at the moment?
No, that might be fair. I think at Chelsea he won't play. I think he'll play McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai because it's tried and tested and he needs to get back to some results. And Wirtz can build up his physical presence and get sharper and he doesn't have to play with him. He left him out for the Everton game.
Jim White and Simon Jordan.
Yeah, I actually agree with what Simon said there. I think Florian Wirtz will get better physically, and I actually agree he could have probably had a couple of assists. Sometimes decision making just unfortunately just doesn't go your way. I think people just need to take an overall relaxing period on it, if I'm being honest. I don't know where the overall stress is coming from. But we're going to react to another clip before we end the stream from TalkSport. Cundy claims that he has shown no evidence of being able to be able to win another Premier League. Let's take a listen.
Mikey.
Hi, mate. I'm lads. How you doing?
I'm good, mate.
I don't really want to get dragged into this nonsense chat about who's favourites, Arsenal, Liverpool, City. It doesn't really matter at this stage of the season.
No.
The one thing I will say though is that last year we had a preferred 11, right, that went deep in the Champions League, and that was the 11 that included Thomas Partey. And this season we've gone more in the style of when Arteta was at City under Pep, he had lots of options. We didn't have lots of options last year, and I think he will be prioritising the Premier League, and the squad rotation is all going to be down to prioritising the Premier League. The Champions League run great, but I think he's gone in the style of the Pep big squad style, quality squads that can go 38 games and win the Premier League.
Yeah, I think. Look, you've definitely improved the squad. You've got a brilliant squad now. You look at the bench tonight. Players that can come on, players that will probably start the weekend. So there's no getting away from the fact that Arsenal have improved the squad. You're a really good team.
But what I'm saying is, I just people's coming on saying we're going to win the double. I don't think they care about that. They just want to win something. And I think the most likely thing we're going to win is obviously the Premier League. And Arteta realises that, and he's going to prioritise that. And if we go deep in the Champions League, great.
Well, I think if you do go deep into the Champions League, he's not going to be rotating the squad, is he? He's going to play his best team. Right now, in the league phase, everyone
Yeah, but we were
changes the
stretched.
side. Everyone,
Last year-
rotates because you're going to back yourself to beat Olympiacos at home.
But this time last year, we were so stretched already in October. And like, I think he's realised that because it cost us. We drew against teams we should never have drawn against. We lost games we shouldn't have lost. We had no potency in attack for a lot of the middle part of the season. And yeah, we were just not at it. But I think he's realised, learned from his mistakes. I think whilst we may or may not be favourites, I think we will win the league.
Yeah, you go close. The coming weeks and months, obviously, we'll find a little bit more. I've always said 10 to 12 games. That's where you look at a team and think, what do they look like? What is that team? How can they go from this point, 11 to 12 games in? How can they go from that point to New Year? What do they look like? And at the moment, I just don't. I look at Liverpool. I just come away always feeling that. And there's been no real evidence that I've seen that Liverpool have the ability for this season to do what they did last.
I disagree. First of all, we've got exactly the same points as we did last season. So that's already a bonus. We have shown it many times this season that we can get over the line using the mentality and the willpower to get over the line. Barring in one game in the Premier League this season, we have dropped points. Yes, he's not great winning last-minute winners every few weeks. It's not good for your heart. It's not just good as in overall, because eventually you will not be able to get that winner. But we have shown that we have the mentality. And we have shown in glimpses of games where we have actually looked quite good. Everton, I thought we was really, really good in that first half. Burnley, I thought we was okay, improved. I thought Bournemouth at times we looked okay. Arsenal in the second half, I thought we were better. So I think overall in aspects and factors, I think everyone just needs to kind of relax, if I'm being truly honest. And again, I agree with the fact of maybe, the first 12, 15 games. Obviously, they're running until Christmas. Obviously, matters factually. But I wouldn't say anyone's really shown that they are going to challenge or definitely win this Premier League title. So I think it's too early to predict after 6 games, because we've seen teams being in title races for the first 6, 7, 8 games and then just fall off a cliff after Christmas. I don't think Arsenal have actually been electric. I think they've been okay. But again, they've still shown to maybe not get over the line in certain games, like the Man City game. Why are you running around doing a million celebrations? Get the ball back to the halfway line and get the winner. It's very simple. But let's listen to what else they got to say.
Yeah, well, it conceded more goals,
right?
That's for sure.
And they're not. And that, of course, can change. Wirtz hasn't quite done what he was been brought in to do. He's only had a handful of games, right? We'll see what happens get past the not just the next one, the international break in November, and then we have a right run at it over Christmas into January. Look, there's so much. We know this league is far from. We know all that.
Yeah,
and
I'm guessing you didn't watch Liverpool last night because
I've seen the highlights. Read enough.
Penalty.
Yes, we had a terrible game against Palace as well, right? So there's a lot of speculation. But I've seen Liverpool this season. I've never once come away feeling that they have been good enough. Every game they get late goals. Come away again, they just haven't been.
What about when I beat Arsenal 1-0?
Again, I mean, it was a draw written all over it. But it's a wonder goal, and the wonder.
Isn't that what champions do, though?
Introducing our kitchenware collection with John Lewis, with over 60 pieces to help you prep, cook, store, and serve.
Look, a sea turtle. They've been around for millions of years, just like you, Grandad. Aha!
You keep saying that, right? But you can't keep relying on that. And
I hear you.
Eventually, what happened against Crystal Palace was coming.
Yeah,
that had been coming for weeks.
I agree.
Since the beginning of the season. First game at home to was it Bournemouth, right? 2-0 up, 2-2.
Yeah.
And that first game of the season really has kind of summed up Liverpool. Can be impressive going forward, can score goals, will concede goals as well. And eventually they managed to, I think it was 4-2 in the end.
Yeah.
I just think Liverpool need to be better. Arsenal have a platform defensively in which one goal can win you it. One goal. I don't know whether Liverpool really, over the course against the big dogs, I don't know whether Liverpool have enough to defensively be secure in another Premier League. That's how I feel at the moment.
Let's go to Chris. He's an Arsenal fan. All right, Chris?
We've shown last season many times that we can keep clean sheets, we can get over the line, we can kill teams with passes, we can kill teams with possession. We've shown that. If we go to Arsenal's games, in some of their games, they've struggled to actually find the back of the net. They've struggled to play football. The Champions League, Bilbao, they wasn't great. You know, against us, they wasn't great. They didn't score. If we average a look at Arsenal's so far this season, first game, that they got a scrappy goal 1-0. They should have lost. Okay, Leeds 5-0, cool. They lost to us, didn't score, only one goal, no goals. Forest, they're terrible. They struggled against Bilbao. Bilbao could have put them away in that first half. Man City, late equaliser. Port Vale, only 2 goals. Newcastle, late. So this narrative that Arsenal are looking scintillating, sexy and brilliant, where's this coming from?
It's a bit rubbish, really. I didn't think it was that great of a performance. I mean, we got the job done, but we expect to beat Olympiacos at home. We should be beating these teams at home. Yeah. So, Arsenal fans, if you're listening, just please calm down a bit, man. Saying we're going to win the treble and all this. No, we're not. Just relax a bit, man. Relax, chill.
Calm down.
A lot of Arsenal fans are excited, Chris.
Look, listen, they should be excited. We've got a great squad. Do we have a great manager? Question mark. You know my thoughts on that. I hope we get over the winning line. I just want to win something this season. Something.
You want something big, though, Chris, right? You know, you're not talking FA Cup or Carabao Cup, are you?
No, I'm saying, give me the Carabao Cup. I'll take it.
You want that? Well, that's it.
I haven't. When was the last time I see Arsenal win a trophy? 6 years ago in the FA Cup.
No, you can't have just Carabao Cup, Chris.
I'm not saying just Carabao Cup.
You want more. You had a pop a minute ago about people saying the treble. What else?
No. Wait, let me finish. It's the first trophy you compete for in the season. Right. So you might as well go for it, especially with the squad we've got now. We've basically got like 2 players in each position. Yep. You know, tonight we had no Madueke, no Havertz, we had no Saka starting, no Eze starting. So we have got a great. Not Cappy, we've seen for about 5 minutes. Norgard didn't get on. We have a great squad. This has to be the time we win something. It has to be because of the money we've spent.
Yeah, I'm not sure the Carabao Cup is going to be. I hear you though. It's the first one you can pick up, and we've seen teams do it before, win the Carabao Cup, and then go and impress in the latter stage of the season. I mean, look, I agree with him actually.
All right,
I think
Chrissy, thanks for your call. Let's go to Golden. He's Arsenal fan. All right, Gold.
All right, Gold.
Hi, good evening, gents.
How old are you, Golden?
I'm not far off from 50.
Why? Why'd you ask that question?
Golden's one of those names. You don't really hear that many.
Baby Gold?
Don't. How many Goldens do you know?
There are a lot up in Scotland, believe it or not, and some in Ireland. But I was named after my late aunt who died when she was very young. She was called Gillian.
Right.
Yeah. So just coming back from the game from Arsenal. Yeah. I let my friends call me that, by the way. But anyway, just come back from the game with my mate Andy. I went up to Newcastle with my mate John, and obviously it's going to be a bit of a come down, you know, from that. That was incredible. I mean, that was like I think our best performance of the season, and today was probably our most underwhelming. In terms of like what you're saying about favourites winning the Premier League, I'm not going to get into that. But I said to my Tottenham mate last season. The moment I realised that in the new format of the Europa League that Tottenham were favourites with the bookies, by the way, they were 5-1. I said, moment there's no Champions League knockouts, my fear is you're going to win that. I think we're going to find it a lot harder to win the Champions League than we are to win the Premier League this season. But this will be, unless we get an absolute raft of injuries, this will be our best opportunity, I think. Under Arteta to win one of them. or certainly the Premier League.
You're in a good spot, right? You've got a great squad. You're playing decent football.
Yeah.
Defensively, you are amazing. You can't get away from that. Defensively, you're amazing. You're there. You're going to be there or thereabouts. I'm not saying you can't win it. I just don't think you will.
You don't want. I don't want them to win it either.
No, I don't want them to win it, obviously. But I just think that when it comes to the Arsenal do this a lot, right?
No, but
they're there at the start of the season. They're fantastic. When it gets to the crunch, when it gets to the business, when it gets to the championship round.
Everyone said that about Spurs, right? Spurs.
We won the Europa League last season, right? So pipe down.
So things can change. Right?
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to
I agree. Everyone just needs to relax. But yeah, chat. That was the preview. We spoke about the Chelsea game. Look, Liverpool have got to win this game because Arsenal are going to beat West Ham. We want to keep up that pressure, keep up that gap as much as possible, even if it's as little as 2 points, because eventually Arsenal will drop points again. And we need to be there to capitalise like we was last season. I have gone with a 2-1 prediction. So if you are watching back on the replay, make sure you smash up that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're trying to push towards 2,350 subscribers this weekend. Hopefully, we can get there quickly as possible. But I do appreciate everyone for watching. And yeah, we will be back on the channel. We got the preview up as a bite-sized version. We uploaded that on the channel earlier. Tomorrow we're going to do the slot press conference reaction. We're going to do an FPL stream, actually. We'll start doing them. And also we've got weekend predictions as well. Appreciate everyone for watching. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Up the Reds. We're going to beat Chelsea 2-1. Isaac and Salah penalty. And I think for them, either an Enzo Fernandez or someone like that will score for them. But look, we've got to win. Simple as that. We must.